echoing faintly through the canopy. The Heartwood Plaza glistened with morning condensation, its central tree, Aranor, ancient and towering, stretching toward the heavens, its bark etched with runes that pulsed softly with memory. At the edge of the verdant market, in a shop grown from the living bark of an old oak, Mira Linvaleth, a young half-elf, wiped her hands on a cloth speckled with varnish and pigment. Her fingers were stained with blues and silvers, remnants of the starlight mosaic she was trying to finish in time for the upcoming Festival of the Moon and Stars. The commission had come from a visiting gnome scholar, a request for a mural of the lost Tower of the Sun. Moon and stars, as remembered by the elven oral tradition. But Mira had never seen the tower, only heard stories, and read the same fragmented descriptions carved into the tablets in the ethereal spire. She was an artist of this new age, trained in both traditional paints and the new shimmerbrushes that used tiny, spellbound bristles to blend color with ambient magic. But tradition still held weight here, and some elders still looked at her as if her human blood dulled the strokes of her brush. Across the market, a group of traveling dwarves haggled animatedly with a woodcarver over a set of rune-inscribed chimes. Children darted between stalls, laughing, their feet trailing glowing ribbons from magical festival anklets. Mira stepped outside for air, brushing a leaf from her braid. She caught sight of her neighbor, Callian Leafstep, arranging baskets of enchanted herbs in front of her stall. The older elf gave her a gentle nod. "Still struggling with the moonlight on the tower spires?" "Bah," Callian called softly. Mira sighed. "The legends say the topmost dome glowed like a song made of light. That's not exactly easy to capture with varnish and mineral ink." Callian chuckled and walked over, offering a flask of infused water. "Maybe stop thinking of what it looked like. Paint what you wish it looked like. That's how we honor memory here, not with accuracy, but with beauty." Mira smiled and drank. Around them, the market stirred to life. A flute player began a slow tune, the melody familiar and warm. Across the river, the healing gardens of the sanctuary shimmered with sunlight, and Mira spotted the pale cloaks of the moonlit glades keepers moving between the flowers, tending to pilgrims and meditating near the memory pools. By mid-afternoon, Mira's studio smelled of lavender and ashroot varnish. She had painted the spires anew, no longer just gray towers in a storm, but gleaming minarets of radiant indigo, their crowns swirling with painted light. She wasn't sure it was what the tower had ever looked like, but it was what she wanted it to be, what she hoped the First Age had felt like. That night, lanterns floated above Holme, drifting lazily across the sky on currents of magic and wind. Mira stood in the heartwood with the others, her mosaic unveiled on a curved wooden easel, the light catching the silvers just so. The gnome scholar clapped enthusiastically, already discussing plans to bring her work to a lecture in Palad. An elder, her own great-uncle, stiff and formal, approached. Mira braced herself for a critique. He studied the mural for a long moment, then gave a single quiet nod. "You remembered more than I thought you could," he said. Then he was gone. The wind rustled through the leaves of Aranor above, and Mira stood with paint still staining her hands, watching the stars emerge one by one. Her breath fogged the air. Her art had remembered. Maybe that was enough.